Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do a reading for you. How are you, my water family? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Hey, I'm just here with the bonus read just to say thank you for all the ways you've been loving on the channel. Look, you're the one building the channel. You guys that give me the thumbs up, that hype me, you guys are the ones building the channel, and I appreciate you so much. Let's find out what sort of energy we can give you before the sneak peek comes out, right? That's coming out tomorrow. So let's find out what's going on for you, Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs, my two fishes friends, my water family. And hey, don't forget, private reads are still available. And if you look in the pinned comment, you will see a link to Hypsee. After that, you just go there and you can see all my prices and packages. Let's find out what's going on for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in this bonus read. We've got, we are starting out with the Wheel of Fortune. What is going on? Everything that comes out after this is exciting. Let's find out what's going on, Pisces. Something here is about to change. It could be changing within your home. We've got the Four of Wands. It could be reason to celebrate. There's something here that is showing up in a moment of destiny. Everything's begin to expand and change. Something's getting bigger. You could be buying a bigger house. I always see the Four of Wands somehow is going to the next level. It feels like you could be moving in with somebody or buying a house, or it feels like you're leveling up to stability, celebration. Something here is about to be happy because something is changing and expanding. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the Judgment card. Oh, this is an awakening, y'all. If that's what it feels like there's an awakening going on. Or if you've already had like your very first awakening, look, we always keep going through these ascensions, these little mini awakenings, right? Because the third eye can't just crank open all at once. It would terrify us. It's going a little at a time, but I feel like there's something coming up around the corner that I feel you weren't ready for when it showed up last time, but now it's showing up in divine timing. And it's going to be celebratory. It's going to take you to the next level of your path, of your life. Or it's time to buy the house. Maybe the next level of a soulmate relationship for some of you. But the Judgment card does tell me that when it showed up last time, it wasn't the right time. And so whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. It will always just wait for the right time, the moment of destiny, to show up, to change everything. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the Three of Cups. What's this? And the Star. Okay. It feels like something here is healing, or something you've been hopeful for is coming back around. This could be a person. It could be an emotion. It could be a thought pattern. Something is changing. It's stabilizing itself. And it could be a group of people. Look, we have the Three of Cups, which is generally happiness. It is celebration, the reunion, or the union of people. It could be a group of people because we have more than one person here. Could be one person. I'm just saying it could be someone who is a soulmate friend. It feels like it could be an Aquarius, maybe a Virgo or a Pisces, maybe Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, maybe a Sagittarius. It feels like whatever this is has taken nearly forever. Pisces, I feel like you're going to be probably quite surprised at the joy that shows up when you have some sort of reunion with a soulmate. Now, the Three of Cups is celebration. There's nothing here that says you've dated this person before. It says here that some situation or a person is coming back around to heal something. And I think you hoped, which is the Star, I think you've been hoping that this would happen. And I think you're ready for this moment of alchemy here, this moment of destiny to show itself. And it's going to change whatever's been going on in your life. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. It does feel like you've been waiting a very long time. I'm going to say for some of you, it might be 3 months. For me, cups are months. It could be 4 weeks. It could be 7 years. Like it feels like it's a significant amount of time, because 3 months is a long amount of time. It feels like someone or something is just around the corner and about to show up as something you had hoped for. It feels like it takes you on another path, a different path, in fact. It's like you are going to the store the safe way, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, I think I'll go to Sobeys this week. Or I think I'll go to Aldi's this week. And it feels like something on that path changes while you're on that new path. We've got the Five of Swords here. We've got the Knight of Cups. Okay. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So this thing has been taking a while. For some of you, it could have taken a year or more. Look, we have the Knight of Cups here and the Knight of Pentacles. So this is brave energy. There's somebody here, whether it be you or the other person, Pisces, somebody here wants to get it right the first time. And that might be why they've been taking so long. This is Virgo energy, right? The page of, sorry, not the page, but the Knight of Pentacles. But we do have this Piscean energy here. And that's very interesting, right? In a Pisces reading. The Knight of Cups is the one who's kind of meandering. The one who is sort of the passive knight is going to eventually get to where they're going. A little bit passive, but a very dreamy sort of energy. A fantasy sort of dreamy energy. It feels like there was maybe a harsh discussion or something that we didn't agree with in the past. And I feel like since then, you've been dreaming about, fantasizing about what it would be like if this thing ever came back together. Because it feels like a significant amount of time has passed, and you now have a different perspective. And I feel like you have the different perspective because the Knight of Pentacles is here. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't care when the outcome is. The Knight of Pentacles' biggest concern is getting it right, making sure all the details are in place, making sure I remember it as it really was, as opposed to what I think it was. It feels like you've been hoping for something to change, and I think you're right. I think something is going to change here. Let's talk about the Wheel of Fortune. Something is about to move forward in a very fortunate way, and I love that it's snuggled up next to the Three of Cups. I love that because that is celebration and reunion, right? We have the King of Cups. We have the Two of Cups. Wow. Very interesting. And we have the Two of Wands. Somebody's preparing behind the scenes right now, it feels like, Pisces. This is a preparatory time, I'm going to say. It feels like you've been waiting for this for a really long time. Now, maybe you know what it is, and maybe you don't. Maybe you can put it in the comments. But it does feel like when I see the Two of Wands, it's like someone has not yet taken action. For me, when I see the Two of Wands, someone is taking action when either the Knight of Wands shows up or the Ace of Wands shows up. To me, that's the propeller on the boat. Otherwise, we've made the plan and we're just sitting here at the crossroads, staring at the road this way and the road that way, or a choice between two. And I'm not really sure what I want to do. What I do know is that somebody here has a very deep connection. We've shared a lot of emotional secrets. This could be that we have an emotional or romantic bond we can't break. It doesn't have to be romance, because that's really not what the Two of Cups is about, but it could be if that's your lens today. The Two of Cups to me is somebody who you're bonded to, someone who you've had reciprocal emotional energy. I know your deepest secrets, you know my deepest secrets. It does feel like the King of Cups might be involved. Now, the King of Cups is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, but listen, I'm not sticking that on anybody. I don't know who this is, and I feel like this person is somebody, we'll go with the energy, because I'm an energy reader, somebody who's kept something under the surface. What I think they've kept under the surface is the Two of Cups and how they feel about you. It feels like the moment of alchemy is about to show up. Destiny is calling. Something is about to change, and it's because it's supposed to. Something's going to expand. I feel like somebody is making a plan or thinking about you and thinking about when is going to be the time for me to go back around and explain to Pisces that these feelings have been hiding underneath for years. I really do feel like it's years. For some of you, it could be 7 or 8 years, maybe 1 year. It does feel like it's been maybe since Aquarius season, possibly. But I feel like somebody here is being poked in the back of the head by the Judgment card and saying, look, something here has to change. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the call. Are you going to do it or are you not? Because whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. But it is showing up again because the universe is saying this is the moment of destiny. You're ready now. Tell me about the Judgment card. We've got the Nine of Cups. You're going to be happy for sure. We've got the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Cups. This tells me that you're going to be super overwhelmed in your happiness when it does show up. I say it because I'm really not entirely sure whether this is a situation. It might be about something you've cultivated over time, which accounts for the Two of Cups and the King of Cups, because the King of Cups is mature. This is not a child. This is somebody you've known for a long while because they're an adult. I feel like it's moving, but it's moving slowly because someone is unsure of their feelings. The Five of Swords and the Knight of Cups show up as I'm sort of not really sure about, is this a fantasy? Is this really what I want with Pisces? It feels like Pisces, is this what you really want? I feel like the Five of Wands, or Five of Swords is bringing this doubt. But I'm going to say with the Two of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, it tells me that when this person comes back around or the situation comes back around and you finally look it in the face again, this person or the situation, I feel like you're going to be very sure because the Two of Pentacles is now, it's not in the upright. You're no longer wobbling. Now you're really sure you're getting footing. It feels pretty solid. It almost feels like this illusion becomes clear in the 3D. Something that you only had fantasies about or imagined or wished would happen, all of a sudden becomes real. So I think that you might be getting a visit from someone who may or may not be romantic. That's what you've got the lens, right? I'm just a lawyer for the universe. I'm just telling you what's going on, giving you my best interpretation. Let's talk about this Three of Cups, because the Three of Cups to me is the reunion. This is celebration. This is emotions flowing, drinks are flowing, happiness. Tell me about the Three of Cups. We've got the Queen of Cups. Well, isn't that interesting? And the Moon's in the reverse. It's the reveal of feelings here. And we've got the Eight of Swords. I think that currently at this time while you're watching this reading, there is someone who's struggling to keep their feelings under the surface. The King of Cups is here and so is the Queen. And look, those two are mirroring each other, which tells me you have deep feelings for them and they have deep feelings for you. But I really do feel like we have two people that are quantumly entangled here in their psychic energy, their intuitive energy. It's like when somebody thinks about you, you're thinking about them. So if you're thinking about them a lot lately, please know it's because they're thinking about you. When the Moon shows up here, it's because something is about to be revealed. And when the Queen of Cups shows up next to the Moon, guess what? It feels like somebody has been fighting themselves in the mind. I'm not really sure if I want to say this or not. They've been struggling, I believe, to stay in their head with it rather than let it come out their mouth. Let's talk about this Moon, because something's about to be revealed to you, which I think is emotional. Tell me about the Moon. We've got the Seven of Wands. Someone is standing up for themselves because they're tired of carrying the emotional burden. Look, I can't even write a book as good as that. This person is somebody who I feel has decided the Wheel of Fortune's here and this is the best time for me to create my reality. You know how they say when you change a job, that's always the best time to change locations, buy a new house, get a new apartment, start a new diet, start a new health program. Because when one thing changes, everything changes. And that's really what the Wheel of Fortune is about. Something is about to expand. And wait a second here. Let me think about this. Is Jupiter next to Venus right now? Because Jupiter is the ruling card, or is the ruler of the Wheel of Fortune. Because that's Sagittarian energy. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. I know Jupiter is moving, or has moved, or is moving, in, maybe if you're an astrologer you can tell me. I think that Jupiter is moving into Leo, yes. So I feel like there's a fire under it for somebody. That's what it feels like. Somebody's got the fire under them to say something. Somebody who's been keeping boundaries with you, my friend, keeping it quiet, keeping it in their head. They're about to reveal that it's been a very big burden for them to keep their emotions quiet. For them not to say exactly how they feel about you. This doesn't have to be romantic. It could be somebody who you haven't seen in a very long time. Judgment card is coming back around. It could be a friendship as well. But if it's romantic for you, it is. We've got the Magician here, right? It does feel like somebody here is finally deciding to use the tools that were given to them. Somebody here has all the skills and the resources to build their own reality. It feels like somebody's had an awakening. Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. It feels like they've realized now, look, I'm the magician. I don't have to listen to anybody. I don't care if this disappoints you, you or you. I'm going to do what's best for me because I'm the one here creating my own reality. That's the whole purpose of being here, is to realize that I have the tools to create my own reality. What do you want your reality to be, or what does this person want their reality to be? Let's talk about the star. I think that you have been communicating with this person, probably in the waterverse, I'm going to say, because psychic energy, right? The king is Scorpio energy and the queen is Piscean energy. It feels like you've been communicating with somebody in the intuitive psychic energy. We've got the 10 of Cups. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, and we've got the King of Pentacles. I feel that when somebody thinks about you, I think that they see you as somebody who doesn't need them. The 9 of Pentacles is here, and that to me feels like pre-Empress energy. And the King of Pentacles tells me that you are running your own kingdom. You're stable, you're good, 10 Pentacles are here. This person is wondering if you really even need them. They are a King of Pentacles. I feel like this person is somebody who's in their kinged energy. We got the King of Cups, King of Pentacles. It feels like somebody here is wondering, well, do I have anything to offer? Because you look like you don't need anybody to offer you anything. So I feel like you've been hoping for your 10 of Cups. I feel like you are probably someone who is single, as per the 9 of Pentacles, or that you've been building your kingdom brick by brick all by yourself. 10 Pentacles are here. Tell me about this 7 of Pentacles. There's something here that I feel the seeds of intention were planted back there. So you may have mentioned, I have feelings, or something. It feels like some sort of seed was planted back there, and then you continue to nurture it with your intuition. It feels like you continued to nurture it, and you were willing to wait. You feel like a patient one. So maybe you've got some Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. We have the 5 of Wands and the Lovers. Oh my gosh, the Page of Swords. The 5 of Wands is competition. It's competition, but it's also the battle within. And then we have the Lovers. Someone is really battling, making a choice, right? This person's at the crossroads. 2 of Wands. Somebody here is balancing. Sorry, not balancing, but battling inwardly. Trying to make a choice about what to do. The Page of Swords is here. This person has been viewing you from a distance for a while. It feels like they've been observing you, checking in on you, maybe on social media. If you don't have social media other than YouTube, then I feel like somebody here has been asking about you through a friend group, or it feels like somebody's maybe been thinking about you or trying to dig up information about you on the internet. Maybe you're nowhere on the internet. That could be why they can't get a hold of you. But it feels like somebody here is really battling this feeling of the Lovers. They feel like you are a soulmate connection, an emotional soulmate connection, and somebody here has just never told you that. It feels like they had to submerge their feelings for a reason. But I think they're coming back here, and they do want to have some sort of a reunion. Look, the center of your reading is the 4 of Wands. It really does feel like someone's coming back for you, whether that is a friend or that is a romantic connection. Tell me more, and what else does Pisces need to know? We've got the 6 of Wands, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, and we've got the 4 of Swords. It's been made very clear to somebody now the value that you will have in their life, that they are ready for something long-term. And I feel like the 6 of Wands tells me that this person couldn't be with you before the Judgment card showed up because this person was in a dark night of the soul. They weren't ready. You weren't ready. The situation wasn't ready. Everything was still in the oven. The bread was still baking. You can't eat bread that's raw. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune being here, it took forever because that is Jupiterian energy because it's Sagittarius, but also Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, which indicates that this could have been going on forever. You are not expecting that somebody here was even thinking about you. I think someone here was trying to fix their finances. They were trying to fix their energy levels, maybe their health. But it feels like somebody here has like crawled out of a dark hole. The 6 of Cups is here. They've crawled out of a dark hole and they've had some sort of a revelation or realization of what they really want. The Magician is here saying, what do I really want to create? And the Ten of Pentacles is here. I want to create value. I want to create something that is long lasting. Somebody has had a clear indication or realization because they've been healing. It does really feel like somebody's gone through some sort of an awakening and now sees things very different from when they saw them before. It feels like now they're ready to get the victory, and maybe they weren't before because they didn't see the value in something that they felt just wasn't working out. Wow. The World card is here now, along with the Temperance card, and then we have the King of Wands. This person has grown in wisdom. They're healing. They're growing in wisdom. This person has grown in wealth. They've really got their eye on what they want. They're very serious about growing their kingdom. This is somebody who is seriously pursuing anything of good rapport, pursuing the end of an old chapter, the end of the way they used to be, and now they're waking up. It feels like somebody here is going through an awakening. Look, the World card, the World card is showing up with the Judgment card, which tells me that somebody here finally has come to a milestone in their life, or some sort of a milestone or an achievement in their life, and they've looked around and they realized that there's no one of value in their life to share it with them. So I feel like somebody's coming back around. Look, the Nine of Cups is here. It's alignment. I feel like this is going to make you very happy. I feel like this is a wish fulfillment that you've been fantasizing about for a while. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. This is someone that you have no communication with. Nope, none. Hermit is here. But Hermit is also going through a dark night of the soul. So I'm going to say that maybe you thought that this person rejected you because you weren't enough, or all the things that you would blame on yourself, and it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you. It had to do with somebody else who felt like they weren't enough. And so they were going through a dark night of the soul. But the Six of Wands indicates that they've been through the dark night of the soul, and now they're ready for the victory, because now they have come back from that war in the mind, in the soul, and they've come back from the fight, and they've won. And so somebody's here to get a victory. The Sun are just saying, someone has had a realization while they're in this dark night of the soul energy that they're no longer, I feel like somebody's releasing something, or they finally released something and had a breakthrough. That's what the Sun is giving me, breakthrough, next to the Hermit. And somebody here with the Ten of Swords is realizing that they were betraying themselves. Yeah, there we go. They were in a pause. They were in a pause waiting for perspective. And I think that the Sun and the Hermit energy tells me that somebody has had a breakthrough and has come to a perspective about what they need to release, because the Ten of Swords is here. That is very interesting. Tell me what that's about. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, because I am always back. Tomorrow I will bring you the sneak peek for the week, and maybe we'll get some more information about this. I'm going to go, Pisces. Thanks so much for being here. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.